Happy holidays, everyone, to one and all.
What holiday are we celebrating?
We're celebrating Podmas, the day we all gather around the old microphone that Granddaddy Pod brought over, and we wish it good wishes. You know what I'm saying?
Movies are real. The one movie podcast that does their intro once and never looks back on it.
Yeah. Welcome to Movies Are Real for the month of December 2017, the dead year. I actually typed 2017 today. But anyways, Movies Are Real. We're here. We're a monthly movies podcast. We discuss the movies of the month prior and what we're looking forward to the next. We're here to talk about December, which is, apart from one big release, is usually we're in Oscar season. We're recording this on the day the Golden Globes are happening. So welcome to our first predictions.
What a great time to record.
Boyhood wins it again. Wow. Who could have saw it coming? But yeah, we're here to talk about December. How's everyone feel about December? There's one movie I have to talk about on here. I'm just so tired of the takes.
Jumanji?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
If you want a quality Jumanji take that hasn't been said already, listen to Movies Are Real.
But yeah, we got some stuff here.
Let's start off with one I feel like we all have pretty warm feelings on.
I think so.
Yes.
We're talking about The Disaster Artist first. Is it directed by James? Yeah, directed by James Franco, produced by James Franco. I think, does he have a writing credit on as well?
Probably. I don't know. They adapted it from the
book, right?
Yeah.
That Tommy Wiseau wrote,
But yeah, this is the movie about The Room, where James Franco plays Tommy Wiseau.
You know the infamous movie from 2003? I believe it was 2003.
Sure, I don't remember.
Yeah, sure, that sounds about right.
I remember that movie looking very good, like, in terms of film. Well, no, I actually looked like so. I take that back completely. Anyways, The Room, if you're not...
Say what you want with The Room, but it looks really good.
It looks really good.
They definitely filmed it in both HD and...
That's so good.
And classic film.
That's probably my favorite bit from that movie, actually. That bit of like, yeah, we're just going to shoot it, and okay.
It's a real Hollywood movie.
Yeah. But yeah, James Franco here and his brother playing, his character name is Johnny. What was the name of the character, like the friend, the real...
Greg.
No, Johnny, no, sorry.
Greg.
Right.
Greg's the actual guy.
Mm-hmm. Mark is his name in the movie. That's what it was. Because there's like
Mark.
a high Mark. Classic.
That
So yeah, like Ryan mentioned, we're all pretty warm on this movie, which is great because when you get the premise of, I think, James Franco and pals, the whole company, the folks who brought you Neighbors, and what was the Christmas movie? I forget what it was called.
It was like The Night Before or something.
I don't know if... Actually... Yeah, it was called The Night Before, and that did have Seth Rogen, but James Franco had a cameo in it where he played himself, and he hit on Seth Rogen's character and tried to have a threesome with him and some girl.
Oh.
I watched that recently because it was on during Christmas, and...
How'd you feel?
Lukewarm.
Did you feel holly jolly?
No, not really. There's a part in that movie where where Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character just meets Miley Cyrus.
I forgot Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in that movie.
And she teaches him what love is.
Oh,
but
as she does with all of us.
But like,
when did this movie come? When did this come out again?
2014, I think.
Okay, gotcha.
So like crazy Miley.
Yeah, sure. If you want to call it that.
That's when when she was.
I just refer to it as the banger era. Is that what that album?
Bangers.
Bangers, yeah. I re-listened to that album recently. But anyways, we're getting sidetracked. The movie about The Room, I thought it was fantastic and really funny and sharp. I think James Franco really nailed that character, and so did his brother Dave Franco.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess I don't know. We don't know really with that character. I don't know.
You don't really know a lot about Greg. Like, you know about Tommy Wiseau, but you don't know a lot about like Greg.
Yeah.
His like friend. Mm-hmm. So it was an interesting.
It almost doesn't sound real how they met in this whole relationship. That is like, oh man, you're just not scared.
So I just do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think given what was set up, I thought it was very, very good. Carrie, what are your expanded thoughts on this film?
I really like. I like Tommy. It's hard because want to say as a character, but he's not a character. That's just how he is. It's just an interesting perspective of a guy who's just unapologetically like. I think I relate to that a lot when characters are like that in movies where they are just, I'm gonna do this and I'm happy with it and it's 100% authentically me.
Not related, but I recently saw Brigsby Bear and that's sort of that character type. Yeah. he kind of like he seems like there's books in the movie where you believe he maybe be a bit of an asshole. Specifically,
but like he's endearing.
He's got kind of a heart of gold.
Yeah.
Just because he's so like anything is possible.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you don't know like really what is happening. Like, where's all the money coming from? Oh, that's fine.
Right. We reveal like obviously I think this makes The Room a lot more of an interesting movie. Because there is that bit that
it's interesting because like it makes The Room. It like answers questions, but also like it doesn't because no one knows where he's from still.
He's still a mystery.
No one knows why exactly he's got the money to make this movie. He spent like millions of dollars on it.
So but apparently now he's made his money back at this point.
Oh, really now?
Yeah.
What a guy.
But yeah, I don't know much to say about this movie. I thought it was very. I think it was.
We all like know The Room for the most part. Do you think this is a movie that someone could watch if they have no like knowledge of what that is? Like, do you think you could still watch that and like believe this?
I think so. I think you don't get the thing like, oh, this is real. Like, I think so.
I feel like you can, but like towards the end when they show like the side by sides, then you're like, oh. This happened.
This was a real movie.
This wasn't a bit James Franco was just doing. That's crazy.
Carrie, do you think?
I think that was a very strong way to end it. It was also fun, but it was also like showed like the uninformed like, oh, this happened for real.
How? It just showed how committed they were too, and how
like it might be James Franco's best comedic movie.
Oh, probably
or role. Like I'm trying to think.
I think just because like he like played someone other than himself.
I think so.
And I feel like for the most, like I think he's a funny guy, but I feel like he's too tethered into like his comfort zone when it comes to at least comedy. Obviously, when he does like dramatic things, he goes like fucking crazy because that's the kind of guy he is.
This is the first time I've ever cared about James Franco.
Yeah, same here.
What about Dave Franco?
He's okay.
You're not a big fan?
Well, like he's back, baby.
He's just
and by back,
baby
I mean, like,
face all over the movie.
But yeah, I think this movie made me appreciate The Room more because walking in, I was like, I don't think The Room's even a fun movie to watch like as a goof. I just thought it was really uninteresting. But then rewatching some of those scenes and like in the movie, like, oh wow, yeah, that movie is fucking weird. Specifically the part when they're about to have sex
and Josh Hutcherson runs in.
Just walk, yeah. Oh right, yeah. Fucking, oh man.
A little fight.
Yeah. But yeah, I walked there. It was good. This is probably my favorite comedy. Like I walked out feeling really good and really high on it. Overall, I really fucking liked it a whole lot.
This is getting like, I know it's nominated for a Golden Globe, and I believe people are talking about it for like best performance from James Franco.
Sure.
How do you guys feel about those theories?
I mean,
because like when I'm reading like Austin
it's a good performance, but he's also like playing I don't know.
It's a really cartoonish guy who's a real guy, and so I don't.
And that's not like say like it's not. No one's never.
It's still impressive because like people win awards for portraying real people.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time,
and also like I feel like movies about Hollywood always like win.
Yeah, people love movies about Hollywood. Yeah,
and like I do too, but like I feel like it's also kind of unfair to other movies that came out that year. Like the Hollywood movie won, so like I wouldn't be surprised if this won a lot, just because like it's real, it's about Hollywood. And like he's very committed to it. He does a genuinely very good job.
I just would love to see Tommy Wiseau's Twitter timeline if this like won Best Picture or something. That'd be amazing.
It's like winning life.
Also,
fucking weird.
I did not care for Tommy Wiseau's cameo.
It was really small and kind of like nothing.
It was small and it was like okay.
In fact, when he got there, it made James Franco's like performance seem bad because it seemed like Tommy was just wasn't playing Tommy Wiseau. Well, it's weird because like in the movie, he's just kind of playing himself, but he's like adding this acting costume.
I am Tommy and I am acting.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a little bit more pronounced. But yeah, I don't think it added to anything.
Yeah, it was fun, but it was weird because it was like the after credits scene, so it felt like
that was weird.
Very tacked on.
It did, yeah. Yep. I don't know. Is there anything else to say about this? Like I said, it's probably the most like good feeling I walked out of a movie. No, actually, that's not true. There's another movie on this list that made me feel that way as well.
Jumanji.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the jungle.
Oh man. Did they play this? Well, we'll get into it eventually. I just got so many.
The answer is yes.
I forget that movie came. Okay.
Every question you have about Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, is yes.
Okay. Well, with that out of the way. Let's talk about Star Wars: The Last Jedi, baby. They made another Star Wars. This Star Wars thing, it's kind of a big deal. So yeah, Star Wars.
I think people are excited about the new Star Wars coming out. Am I right? You know what I'm saying?
Ron Howard, Star Wars. Yep, I don't know what that's gonna be, but
it comes out in May.
Yeah, I know, man.
How?
I don't know.
How? It's a Star Wars movie that comes out in May. Okay, whatever.
Yep.
Last Jedi.
The Last Take.
Written and directed by Rian Johnson.
Yep. The Last Take here.
The Last Take.
Oh, how do we...
This was a divisive movie.
It was. It was very divisive.
I walked out, not expecting that. Genuinely. I feel like there's, problems with it.
Yeah.
But when I went online and I, saw, steaming,
vitriolic hatred,
foaming at the mouth, anger, I was like, okay, guys, come on. Yeah. But a lot of the hate was stuff that I thought was fine, which is weird.
Yeah.
So let's get into this, I guess. Ryan, it seems like what's your opinion on it?
So overall, I really liked it. I think the thing about me in Star Wars is I really don't care that much. I never really started.
Yeah, me neither.
I never really started caring until The Force Awakens, just because I like the characters of Rey, Finn.
Yeah, for me,
Poe.
I opened myself for that love because I wanted it a little bit.
Yeah, and they're all interesting characters. Well, prequel. Okay, no one's interested in the prequels. I like Ewan McGregor. That's the only thing I like about that. But but Luke, Han, and Leia, they're just kind of boring to me.
In this one?
At least in the original.
All right. That's
in the original series.
Oh, okay. I think it was this one. I was like,
They feel very vanilla. In this one, Luke and Leia are great. I like them a lot.
Some would maybe put her for nomination for best performance on their own podcast. I don't know, but I don't know.
Which one?
Leia.
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
I think she's good.
I think I liked most of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my biggest issue was with the Finn and Rose stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly because it didn't lead. The thing is, the theme of the movie is just about failure and how everyone just keeps failing, and it's all about getting back up. You know, Luke failed to teach Kylo Ren how to not be a pussy little bitch. Poe failed because he thinks he can be this action hero when actually the ramifications of his actions end up hurting a lot more people than he realizes, because he cares more about being cool, I did it, but you actually killed a lot of our people, you idiot. And then all the Finn and Rose stuff, and I get the idea behind that arc, but it doesn't feel very satisfying. In the end, you don't feel like they left at the end of the story. They left learning any lesson. Well, with everyone else, I get where they started and ended, and that's my biggest problem with that. Other than, and also I don't know, it's weird just because they go to the planet and they save the animals, but there's still a bunch of slave children.
What's its name? I had the name of that planet off the top of my head. Now I don't.
Yeah. And also, the idea that they would go there looking for the guy, and then they meet a guy in the prison, and it's
Benicio del Toro's character.
You know what? This will be fine. Spoilers if you haven't fucking seen the last. I've already spoiled a lot of it. Years. He betrays them, and it's oh, how could you? It's well, you met him in a fucking prison.
Why does he have a lisp? I don't understand it.
Benicio del Toro.
It's when a Samuel Jackson in the original Kingsman. This is really random.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but I feel like a lot of the criticisms come from the Luke and Rey stuff, but I thought that was fine. And also the big Princess Leia moment, which I thought that was fine.
It was weird. Anyway, so my quick thoughts. I don't know what I feel about it. I walked out being I don't know about this movie. I don't think I liked most of it, but then I watched it again. I was like, but I don't know. At that point, I was trying to be contrarian. I was like, there are moments in this movie that are very good.
Yeah.
And also I don't know. It feels kind of I don't know. It definitely doesn't feel like what Force Awakens was, which was it's Star Wars, baby. But then I rewatched Force Awakens, and I was like, the tone of these movies aren't that different, actually. When you where do they go from the end of that first movie? They blow up the thing, everything's fucked completely. Where do you go from there? And but if I told someone this is a Star Wars movie where they're literally just on a fucking ship going like 5 miles an hour, and everyone's like, what do we do? What do we do? And Poe's like, oh, fuck you, I'm gonna go do something. It's like, don't do that. And then
that's actually the worst thing you could possibly do. It's like, I don't care, I'm awesome.
And Laura Dern's just there. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine. I like bits of it.
Also, like, another thing is I don't like the Rey and Kylo Ren relationship.
I like that a lot, actually.
I do not like that because mostly
I like Kylo Ren a lot in this, actually.
in this one he's a lot better, but like him in episode 7 is very like cringy and like
Yeah, that one, yes.
And also like whenever he talks to Rey, it just feels like rapey. It's disturbing.
Okay, sure.
Just like the way he talks to her is so I don't like it. And then like they're just like close, even though she watched him kill a father figure to her. I don't
The
like
Force, man.
The Force,
Carrie,
man.
what are your thoughts?
I just don't care.
Yeah, same here. It's like, yeah.
First off,
like I was bored during this movie.
Me too. Me too.
And then when we get out of it, I'm like, it was okay. And then I go online and everyone's like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen, or this is the best thing ever, and if you hate it, you're wrong and stupid. And I was like,
I bet reading reviews to Mother all over again.
Exactly. And I was just
To be fair, Carrie, our friend Zach, heart of gold, but he showed you those movies in the worst order. He made her watch the prequels first.
I don't think
do
I
that.
don't think that matters.
I don't think I was ever gonna like Star Wars, to be perfectly
But like,
honest.
you don't start off with the worst ones, because then your expectations just get lower
I'm
and
not
lower.
gonna give a shit.
Yeah.
I know you won't, but I still think
You
it's
know,
stupid.
I gave a shit when Mads Mikkelsen was there, and he's
That's
gone.
what made me think about it. I was like, that movie was good. Man, I liked Rogue One.
But I don't
I
know.
like the last half.
No, there's one good moment, I think, like, the moment where Laura Dern, spoilers, I guess, Laura Dern pivots the ship
Oh, that's
and fucking
awesome.
just goes lights.
Boom!
That was fucking
That was
incredible.
amazing. And the
It's
way
just
they just
quiet.
dropped all the sound.
Oh, it's fucking
No,
incredible.
yeah, I totally agree. This movie has such good moments. Like, there's moments that if it all felt good, this would be like an immaculate movie. Like as we know, I'm a very like visually oriented person, and that scene where Rey and Kylo are fighting together in the red room with
It's
the
fucking
red guards,
good.
I was like, ooh.
It's very. But that's the part where, like, it woke me up. I was like, oh, whoa, shit, what's happening?
Yeah, like the first part of this movie, I was so fucking bored. I
Yeah,
didn't
this
give a
movie
shit.
is like a lot
He's
of.
gonna take the saber and put it in a
Like the movie's a lot of highs and lows, and like when I think back on it, I think of the highs, and I'm like, you know what, that's alright.
I think the part with the salt planet would have been cooler if it wasn't all the marketing.
Yeah, true. Oh, and also like I really dug the final battle with Luke and Kylo Ren. I thought that was great.
It was good.
The fucking,
Mostly
the
because-
fucking red sand.
The
Ooh.
red.
Yeah, again, like, I
Mostly
liked it,
because,
but-
like,
I think I really like red.
Luke like preludes it earlier. Like, what do you expect me to do? Just walk over there and defeat the whole army by myself? He fucking does it. It's awesome. God, so cool. And then Finn just doesn't do anything the whole movie, but half of the movie's dedicated to him.
So,
It's great.
I guess we should talk about I want to talk about Carrie Fisher's performance in this movie and Mark Hamill's performance in this movie. How do we feel about Mark Hamill in this movie?
He was sassy.
He was set.
I can't tell if it was a good performance.
Okay, I have only ever seen each of these Star Wars movies one time.
No.
Has everyone in this movie always been a sassy little shit, or did they just like turn that up?
No,
for
that's
this
new.
Movie? Okay.
It was very straight
'Cause I was
faced.
just during this movie I was like, everyone's so quippy,
Yeah.
and there's so many one-liners here.
It reminds me of the Marvel a little bit, but
I've heard a lot of people say, like, some of my coworker friends who hate it, like, it's just a fucking Marvel movie. I hate fucking Marvel. It's like, oh my god, it's actually a children's movie. Shut up, there's
I
jokes.
feel like a lot of at least in my experience of the people that I talk to, a lot of the diehard Star Wars people are being like, this is absolute trash. Because when we got home, I went to bed and I got a message from one of my friends who's this like super, super, super hardcore Star Wars, and he was like, dude, I fucking hated that movie. This is the worst Star Wars movie ever for sure. And then he was mad about all the porgs, and I was like, I don't fucking know, dude.
Okay, guys, can we just pause real quick? Oh my god.
fine.
Every time a porg was on screen.
that part where Chewbacca was trying to eat it. Fuck that scene.
I
That
did not like that
scene was
scene.
bad.
I hated that
What?
scene.
Are you sad because he didn't get to eat the porg?
No, because it was just bad. Because it's just like, oh, we're gonna do a bit and everyone's gonna laugh and feel good about themselves. Fuck you. Get fucked.
But Chewbacca didn't get to eat his dinner.
He killed a beautiful space penguin.
There were 60 of them.
Anyways,
Not enough space penguins.
so yeah,
So cute.
I
I
couldn't-
love him so much.
I like how how the audio has become very extreme during our porn conversation.
We have opinions about porgs.
I hate all anti-porg propaganda.
Porgs are
bullshit.
cute.
If porgs do not return in episode 9, I am gonna personally find word.
Alright.
What's the fucking name of directing it?
J.J. Abrams?
I'm gonna go to J.J. Abrams' house and just set it on fire. This is a threat, J.J. I am threatening you.
Alright.
Put porgs
So,
in your movie.
porgs versus Ewoks, which is better?
I don't care.
Oh,
Porgs.
Ewoks, they're little bears.
No, that's true. No,
Yeah,
that's
you
like,
would nah, porgs.
You know.
People also
That's-
really hated the Ewoks.
Yeah, I know.
too.
That's how I know I don't actually like Star Wars, because whenever all the stuff that everyone hates comes on, I'm like, oh, look at the Ewok.
Yeah, I remember watching that movie and being like, oh, that's fine. It never came to me oh, dude, it's ruining it. It just felt like the world because it's a weird
Teddy bear world.
Yeah. Why do people get complain if one thing's too weird? It's the fucking space, dude. It's weird.
It's the fucking space. Dude.
anyways, Mark Hamill in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do we? Ryan? Do you think? What do you think? Because I can't tell if it was a great performance. It's just been Mark Hamill. There's certainly something to be said that he's his career started with Star Wars pretty much.
Yeah.
And at that point, his whole fucking life has happened, and he's fucking acted so much. And I thought it was a really good performance, but I was like, is this just been Mark Hamill all this time? Because I saw Brigsby Bear, where Mark Hamill's also in there. But I was like, yeah, that's Mark Hamill. That's how he was in The Last Jedi. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess there's something to say about what he does to Luke Skywalker as a character, this performance. But
I think because Luke was so early on, I think that was very much a lot of him at that time. So I feel like how he's grown in real life would also be how he's grown in the movie, if that makes sense. Because he even when people are oh, would Luke do this? He's like, no, I know, because I fucking am Luke. He would not do that. Because I've seen people at him on tour Luke wouldn't do that in the movie. Doesn't the movie wouldn't do this? No, he would. I know. The character and also he did it. So shut up.
that's good.
Jesus.
Carrie, do you have any?
Fisher also.
Yeah.
Great job.
Do you have any opinions on Mark Hamill?
I like him a lot, but I think I might just be relaying that to my massive love for Brigsby Bear. So I don't know how much love I would have for Mark Hamill if I had not also watched Brigsby Bear
both
this
of those
year.
movies.
What a bad dad.
But yeah.
And then how do you feel about Carrie Fisher's performance?
I
You were very
loved. She was fantastic in this movie. I thought personally.
Yeah. She wrote a lot of it too.
Did she?
Yeah, she wrote a lot of the humorous aspects of it, which I really felt because she has a great sense of humor that you tell in her writing.
It really, not to shit on Harrison Ford, but Harrison Ford came back and he just played the same character.
Yeah.
And Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher's characters are a lot different.
Yeah.
It feels like time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, fucking Harrison Ford's still the fucking gumshoe ass motherfucker. I don't even know.
He really is the same person though.
Yeah.
He's. Yeah.
Oh.
So how do you feel about episode 9, George? How you feeling about that?
I mean, I walked into this movie being like, oh, we're watching a Star Wars movie. I forgot.
How do you
I don't
feel
think I
about
care.
what they're gonna do with Carrie Fisher in episode 9?
I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
They leave it there are multiple moments in the movie okay, it seemed like everyone else but her had a chance to die. Well, I guess she had that one scene in the beginning where
I thought that was gonna be. I was like, okay, I guess that that'll be fine. But then I was like, oh, good, she's still.
I was like, oh, you're just gonna get her blown up to sky heaven. She just looks at the screen and boom.
Well,
dead.
she did save people, and I thought that'd be that's a heroic death if that's how she went. And I feel like that would have been a better way to do it because it's still hard because she's one of the main people. So how are you gonna treat?
They'll just kill her off.
I thought she was the character.
They'll just kill her off in the opening crawl of episode 9. Leia died.
Leia died. I congenital heart failure.
Leia went back to her home of Alderaan, her ghost Alderaan.
Ghosteron, as people know it now.
Good, great.
I feel like we spent more time on Star Wars than I wanted to. Is there anything else to say about Star Wars? Yeah, but we don't care here.
3 hours, so there's a lot to talk about.
Is it really?
Almost.
Almost all movies are.
No wonder I was bored.
All movies are almost 3 hours now, aren't
It was
they?
the longest Star Wars movie. I don't remember.
Really?
How. Yeah.
Huh. Oh, well.
I think the second longest was Attack of the Clones.
Admiral Akbar died.
He did.
Oh my god, who gives a fuck about Admiral Akbar?
He did die.
I'm the most fish monster.
I love gross fish monsters, as we're gonna see later in the list.
But not yet, because we got a real movie to talk about.
We gotta talk about Jumanji.
Welcome to the jungle. Carrie, explain to me articulately what that face on your...
I'm still not convinced this movie's real.
Me neither.
But yeah, Jumanji. It's not a board game; it's a video game now. You know,
because
all
the
that
kids don't play
all
board
that
games
sense
anymore.
of like childlike wonder and fun is like changed with like really shitty, cynical humor. It seems. Carrie, what'd you think of Jumanji? Welcome to the Jungle.
I didn't like it.
Oh damn!
It
How exactly is it terrible though? Is it just like a long trailer for the entire movie?
Well, I mean, as everything I'm gonna say, Ryan's gonna be able to be like, well, they did that because it's supposed to be a video game. Because I'm like, the characters were fucking annoying. I didn't care about any of them.
Like a video game.
Even when they became the better actors, they were still annoying. Kevin Hart was in the movie. Big thumbs down. Every time they did something like sort of clever and video game-ish, they would just circle around it and be like, did you catch that? Have you ever played a video game before? And so like there's this part where they're driving
He's an NPC.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. They're driving in a car and the guy keeps repeating himself and they're like, you can interpret, oh, he's an NPC, so they have to say certain things to him. They're like, oh, he must, because there's one character in the squad, the one that is played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
right?
Because he's a nerd, but he gets turned into a big muscle guy. Isn't that crazy? But no, he's like, oh, well, I play video games, and he must be an NPC character. You have to say
for
certain
non-playable character.
Yeah, and it's like, I get it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
But yeah,
They do a lot of that, and I will say especially because like gaming is like everyone does it now because of smartphones. I feel like you don't need to be so
Everyone does it. Period.
Yeah, and it's
like no one's gonna be like lives. What?
I think this means we lost a life. What happens if we lose all of those? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we die for real. Yeah, no, this movie was
She's
stupid.
giving him her life.
So it seems like there's not much to say about this one. Ryan
liked it.
It's fine. Like it's just so.
Yeah, I've seen people being like, "It's a fun family time."
I hate it.
Like I watch it and I'm like, okay, this is definitely for children, but like the 7 to 9-year-old boy demographic clearly.
Yeah, but they play video games more than anyone, so why are you talking
Yeah.
down to them?
I know, but like I watch it and like the humor was very hit or miss. I did laugh every once in a while. I like 3/4 of the actors. Dwayne Johnson's great. Karen Gillan, great. Jack Black is back, baby, and he's better than I thought he would be. Playing
The hot girl gets turned into a fat man. Isn't that funny?
As soon as he stopped being like, "Where's my phone?
My cell phone.
I can't do my phone." Like, look, you haven't had it for like 20
Is there like a
minutes.
Scooby-Doo moment where it's like, I can look at myself naked?
There is a scene where they have to teach her how to piss with a dick. Isn't that funny?
Is that funny, George?
Fuck this movie, that damn hell.
She's like, I have to pee. What do I do?
Oh boy.
He's like, "Oh my god, it's so convenient. I love it. If I had my phone, I put this on Instagram."
Insta my dick.
There's a part where Karen Gillan, she's a nerdy person in real life. She has to seduce.
And then she gets turned into a total babe. Isn't that funny?
She has to seduce people, and Jack Black like teaches her how to like be sexy, and she doesn't get it. But Jack Black is teaching her to be
Oh my
sexy.
god, what are you doing?
Oh my god, what are you doing?
But don't worry, she's skilled in dance fighting. Oh, can we talk about how cake makes Kevin Hart explode? Because they pull up their menus of all their stats and stuff, and his weakness is cake. And it's the big linebacker guy gets turned into Kevin Hart. It's funny because he's smaller. But so it's like his weakness is cake. It's like cake, and then he eats cake and he blows up.
I thought it was much fun. It was like, my weaknesses are strength and stamina. What? And then it's like his one power was like backpack and like, oh yeah.
And he knew all about animals.
And he knew about all about animals.
And every time he would say an animal fact, he'd be like, how did I know that? How did I know that?
So, does this movie end with any of them learning a lesson or anything?
Nick Jonas shows up.
Yeah. He's a guy from the 90s who got stuck in the game in the 90s, and he's still stuck
like
in the
Jumanji.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
like
Okay,
Jumanji.
so the movie starts with because you know how at the end of Jumanji, it's on the beach in like a foreign country.
Oh no.
In this movie, they're just like, oh yeah, it's just America. Because his dad is jogging on the beach, and he's like, oh, what's this? And he takes it home to his punk rock son, and he's like, son, I got you this. And the son's like,
I'm listening to the
"Big
Misfits,
bo-
get away!"
Board games. And he like puts it on his dresser, and then Jumanji's like, oh no. And so there's this like green light washes over his room overnight, and then the next day he hears the drums and he opens the Jumanji box, but instead of it being a board game, there's a little cartridge in there now. The game learns. The game changed.
But he's stoked about
Next
playing a
is gonna be
cartridge
a
game?
smartphone
Yeah, he's
app.
like-
Because I've heard there's a shit ton of Sony product placement in this fucking...
Oh.
Because I know there's a Last Guardian commercial.
Oh my god, it's obnoxious. No teenagers.
Is there a Vita in it?
There's no Vitas, but
Oh, okay.
everyone has a Sony Xperia phone, which
Okay.
are so fucking expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Why does everyone have them?
The teens love it.
There's a scene where the dude's playing his PlayStation 4, he's like, oh yeah, and then he does have the Last Guardian poster, and he's like, oh, I love video game, yeah. PlayStation, yeah. It's fine. The movie's
The Walkman guys? Alright, that was my joke about Sony video games. I don't know.
The movie, it's like if the trailer does nothing for you, like it did for Carrie, you're not gonna like it. But like it's fine. It's just so vanilla and fine.
Alright.
And I will go on the record that Jumanji isn't even that great of a movie.
No, it's not.
Excuse. No, it's bad, but it's better than this hawk of shit.
Excuse me.
Remember that line where Nick Jonas is like, "This is Alan Parrish's house, and I'm just living in it," and I was like, "You got that right."
Wait, they bring back, like...
Well, cause Nick Jonas, the punk rock kid from the beginning, gets trapped in the game, and then when they start playing the game, they're like, "Oh, we have to select our characters," and they're like, "I want to be this pilot. Oh, I can't select it for some reason." And then like halfway through the movie, they find him, and he's the pilot character, and he's the kid who got trapped in the 90s. And he's been living in this treehouse, and they're like, "Did you build this?" And he's like, or no, they see a little scratchy, like Alan Parrish was here scratching into the wood. And they're
Oh.
like, "Who's Alan Parrish?" And he's like, "Oh, he's the guy who built this place. This is Alan Parrish's house. I'm just living in it." And I was like,
Oh, okay. Soul
I just don't
Man.
like Nick
Remember
Jonas,
that?
I'm sorry.
Soul
Yeah,
Man.
I understand that.
Soul Man.
He wasn't in it that much, was
I know,
he?
thank God.
Yeah, well.
But I didn't know he was in it, so
Soul
when
Man.
Oh, you
when they
didn't?
found I didn't know about
whoa.
that. So when they found the pilot, I was like, "Oh, this must be the pilot." And then he like took his mask off, and it's like, "Hi, I'm Nick Jonas." It's like, what?
He was like, way too. And he just like waved his hair back and forth. Like, oh yeah.
Alright, well,
Danger zone.
that's enough of that. Jumanji is a
Now
thing.
time for our spoilers
Oh
discussion.
god,
on Jumanji
I'm so
Welcome to the
tired
Jungle.
already. Ryan, tell me about local Nebraskan film genius Alexander Payne.
Known for his writing credit on "I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry."
Oh man, but extremely known Nebraskan.
So I saw Downsizing.
Is
with my-
it a Christmas thing?
It was my
Last time it was
Christmas
bad saying it too. Now it's downsizing.
Yeah, they really pick up the quality family movies, don't they?
It's like, what
so
if?
First off, this podcast is filmed in Omaha, Nebraska, and despite being a fairly populated movie, city, we don't have much going on, and,
No.
we're very.
We have steak.
We have steak. I'll get to that.
Boy,
later.
do we!
And anything that has any like Omaha or even Nebraskan representation, people go fucking crazy. Like it's like mad, like fucking cows just like running like rah, it's insane. Like I went to the theater and it was packed, every seat. There was like a dispute because they double booked some seats, apparently
For downsizing.
for downsizing. Like, but the audience is gonna be really small, so they can fit all the seats.
Yeah, when Ryan told me that, I was like, you know what would solve that, Ryan? If everyone was tiny.
So-
You could fit so many more
so-
people in to
so
see
yeah-
Matt Damon's new movie.
So any Alexander Payne movie, because
See how much this made.
it's very Omaha. It begins in Omaha. Matt Damon plays a man who works for Omaha Steaks, which is the one thing I think we're known for, besides having a lot of high teen birth rates.
the Huskers, Ryan.
No one, not even anyone. Well, I'm not gonna say
No,
that.
when I got here, I was like, who?
Look, man. So downsizing. It takes place in the not too distant future. They find out these scientists in Norway come up with this serum that turns things like really small, and like, oh my god, we did it. We fucking did it. And then 5 years later, they're like, hey, I have a press briefing. I'm the professor. And then he talks about like their experience, like, and I lied. I'm not the professor. The professor is in this tiny box right here. Then he comes out. He's like, oh no, I'm the professor. I invented the downsizing syndrome. It's like, oh boy. And then 5 more years pass. And Matt Damon's trying to take care of his mom, who's really sick, in the house. And then nothing happens. And then 5 years later, he's apparently married to Kristen Wiig, and I guess his mom died? But they're living in the same house, and they're having trouble financially. And people are getting all downsized, and being downsized is the new hit trend that only 1% of people do for some reason. And it turns you like 5 centimeters tall, and then the idea in the movie is people who are that small move into these tiny people communities where it's surprisingly affordable because everything, they use big resources, and thus it's easier to make things for small people. And plus, having everything be shrunken down helps with overpopulation and pollution, and it's very environmentally friendly. And because the idea is we're not going to stop global warming, so let's just get everyone really small, so all our like trash output and all our electrical, everything is just a lot smaller, and then that'll help everything. And that's a fine idea for a movie, okay?
Is it? Sounds like a fake movie.
It does, but it's...
Matt Damon is 5 centimeters tall.
And basically, like, him and Kristen Wiig are trying to find a house, but they can't afford anything. There's a part where he's like, we should have gotten that house in Benson, Nebraska. And he like kind of looks at the camera a little bit. He's like, wink. It's like, oh my god. And there's so many scenes that are like from downtown Omaha. It's fucking annoying and weird. It's like that feeling I feel like people in like California must feel when they like say like, oh.
Did they actually film in Omaha?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Matt Damon was in Omaha and we fucking missed it.
I wanted to kick him in the balls.
There's a scene early on where Matt Damon and his wife decide. Well, I'll get to that. There's a scene, they go to an area where people who are considering being downsized go to learn all about it. And it begins the trend of weird celebrity cameos in the movie.
Oh.
They go and watch this seminar, and then Neil Patrick Harris comes out from his tiny mansion. He's like, hi guys, this is my house. Can you believe it? And it's surprisingly affordable. Let's open up my house and see what's inside. And then the house kind of opens up, and it's like a beautiful mansion. It's like, oh my god, is that my wife in the bathtub drinking wine? And then it's fucking Laura Dern like, honey, why didn't you tell me that there's people in you were gonna fucking invite guests over to our house? I was busy in my bathtub ordering diamond necklaces on the internet.
Being Laura Dern.
Yeah, Laura Dern is like, honey, did you buy yourself a new diamond necklace? And he's like, maybe I did. He's like, how much did that cost? But baby, it's how much did that cost? But you know, I really did. How much did that cost? It only cost $88. $88? That's our food budget for 2 months? It's so annoying. It was awful. And then it just ends, and Neil Patrick Harris and Laura Dern just disappear forever. What the fuck?
So what's the twist?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
There's another great scene where they all decide to get downsized. They're at the bar. They're saying goodbye to all their friends because when you get downsized, you apparently abandon your whole family and friends to live in the small communities. And there's this guy who's like, you know, what about all these little people? Should they have the same rights as us normal people?
No.
Maybe they should only have 1/8 of a vote. And then that just ends.
Makes you think.
There's a part where they're on their bus from Omaha to like fucking
Good old Omaha bus
to Tinyville.
I take the Omaha bus every
Margaret
day.
Martindale, character actress.
Oh.
She's like, you're gonna love being small. And then the first twist, because I don't care about twisting this stupid movie. They go downsize, yet they have to shave you all over, and they have to take out some of your teeth, because if they don't do that, those teeth will stay big, and then your face will explode.
Do they show that in the movie?
No, they talk about it once, and then it's over. And then Matt Damon wakes up, and the nurse is like, oh, and he's like, how long have you been asleep? Only a few hours. I was like, oh, I'm so hungry. He's like, let me get you a snack. And then she pulls out a giant, like, salty cracker. It's like, oh, well. He's like, I'm just kidding. I'll get you a normal meal. He's like, where's my wife? And she's like, about that. And Kristen Wiig didn't go through with it. And he calls her, and she's like half shaved, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, what am I gonna do? My wife. I'm so small now. And then, like, he has this mansion, but, like, a year later, he's just living in an apartment, and he has a loud neighbor who's, like, for some reason, super, like, well-known and, like rich for some reason.
Played by a famous person?
Yes, I can't remember.
Christoph Waltz?
Yes.
That was Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz.
I'm
your annoying neighbor.
I can't do it. I'm your neighbor. Yeah. And then he meets a famous I can't remember a famous Asian woman who was downsized illegally and was shipped in a TV box. And there's this whole event, and I thought this would just be like, oh, like this is the world. The box got like shut up, and like all these people she was with died except for her, and she's working as a maid for Christoph Waltz's character. And like that was just on a news program like 20 minutes earlier, and I thought like that's probably just like, oh, this is the downsizing or whatever.
World
but
building.
No, world building. But like it's actually an integral thing to the movie because he meets her. She has no leg, and he like helps her because he knows all about like chiropractor or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. And then like he helps her, and she introduces him to like the slums of the downsizing thing, even though it's like a built perfect community. You like go through like the wall, and it's like all the minority people live in this area, and it's all shitty. And it's like, this is what the real world is like, and I help these people. And also, her character has like a really thick accent, but like that's the joke, is that she doesn't pronounce things normally, or like normally with quotation marks. And like I thought it was just her accent, but then like I would hear people in the audience chuckle. I'm like, oh no, is this?
makes me think
the
of
accent is the joke, isn't it? Oh,
it makes me think of the audience in The Forest.
Oh.
whenever an Asian character would do anything, they would just laugh.
Yeah, it was a lot of that, and like her like there's a part where like they have sex, like, what kind of fuck you give me, and like all like that, and like really bad. It's really bad and like super stereotypical, and I can't tell if it's like what's happening here? Why would you write a character like this? It's really bad. And people are giving her like, oh, she should win awards for this performance because she cries a lot. It's weird. And the movie ends with the world's fucked anyway, and all the downsized people from the original colony go into this underground bunker because the world's gonna die anyway. And Matt Damon's like, I've never done anything, I'm gonna go with them. And she's like, you should, in her terrible accent, you should go with me and help all these people in the slums. He's like, and then he doesn't, and then they go, and then the world ends, I guess, but they don't show that, and that's it. Nothing happens in the movie.
Her name is in the movie is it? No, that's the wow. That she has like I can't pronounce that name, so I'm gonna try.
Yeah, super thick accent, and I think that's the joke, but I'm not sure. I heard people laugh.
Well, I have good news for you.
A lot of weird things.
Because this movie bombed completely.
Oh wow! I remember on the radio, Filmstream said it was their highest-grossing movie of the year. Downsizing. Filmstream's Omaha. Anyways,
so you're saying a lot of these profits came from here, probably.
Yeah, probably exclusively. Bad movie, decent concept.
Racist.
A little it came off to me as racist. Like I feel like it's trying. It's like the white.
Maybe it was. Was it not racist? What? Did you think it was racist because everyone in the audience was laughing? Or
I felt like her, like the
maybe the audience was racist.
Maybe the audience was racist.
I did watch a movie in Nebraska.
Hey,
so, no, because like it's like the guy, they're trying hard to like show like racial issues, but like it's Alexander.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
And also like
it's like okay,
she's saying like funny Asian things. Like what the hell? Like what's wrong with
it's like when some movies have like a gay character, but it's like, I'm gay. Did you know I'm gay?
I'm gay and fabulous. Like that whole thing. It's like that except with an Asian person. And I don't know. It came off to me as racist.
Okay.
I don't know.
So racist or question mark.
At least like racially insensitive.
Okay.
First. Like not hateful, but like you don't understand it. Anyways, I talked about a small movie for way too
Man, I'm
big.
really upset to find out that Downsizing just wasn't a good movie.
Okay, let's talk about a movie we all I believe we all like a lot.
I think we're all pretty high on this movie.
Jumanji 2, welcome to the jungle.
So The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro, he's back. Someone gave him, actually, knowing the production of this movie now, I was gonna say someone gave him more money. But it seems like this one was like, maybe someone gave him a little bit of money and he had to bring the rest in. But yes, Guillermo del Toro's new movie. It's about a lady who falls in love with this fish person. And it is probably my favorite movie of the year.
Wow.
It's my second favorite.
It's my fourth favorite.
It is this really warm, fucking and lovely film about this lady loving this fish man. But yeah, I think we'll go into it more once. I don't really. There are things about this movie I want to say, but we'll get to that once we make the rounds. Carrie, what are your feelings on this movie?
Oh my god! Like I knew I was gonna like it.
Same. I thought it might be disappointing. I was like, I want this to be this, and I don't know if it'll be that. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it was so beautiful, and I saw it a second time, and I was like crying the whole time. Oh my god! Like there's just so much, everything that's going on in this movie is like perfect, and I love it. It's like I love Sally Hawkins. Her character is really compelling, and I love her neighbor. His arc is awesome. Michael Shannon is fucking insane.
Yeah,
and it's great. Octavia Spencer is great in this movie. Everyone's great. Everything's happy, and Doug Jones does it again.
Yeah.
He did it at the beginning of the year with Bye Man.
2017 was a Doug Jones sandwich. It was great.
Star Trek Discovery. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this real quick?
So I went in like less enthused than I feel like either of you, just because I
had hopes. I wasn't sure it was gonna pull
I did not care for Crimson Peak, and you all know my feelings for Pacific Rim. So it's very bad.
Have fun with 2018.
It's very bad.
Listen, go ahead.
So like when I was going, I was like, okay, like visually, I like where Guillermo del Toro has been,
right?
But like story,
never pulls it together for you.
I feel like at least because the last thing I saw from him was probably the Hellboy stuff. Like story wise and concept wise, I felt like so like when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, fall in love with Fishman. I was like, okay, Guillermo, sure thing. And then I left the movie like, oh my god, I love that fish man. So
I also fell in love with the fish man.
I don't know, it feels so like him.
And it is, yeah.
And like I want to know what love feels like from Guillermo.
Right. So
I want to be loved by Guillermo.
Right.
Not like I want to be loved by him. I just want to feel how he feels love.
Oh.
Because that's the purest form of love.
That's true.
Right. So I guess for those uninformed, Sally Hawkins plays this mute woman who works at this, I don't even know, like this secret lab in Baltimore.
Big super science lab.
During the Cold War.
Big super science lab.
So it's like the United States is like in this sort of arms race, and they're trying to get anything to get a one up. Yeah. And they find this fishman from, I think it's like somewhere in Central or South America.
I believe it was South America. Yeah.
And Sally Hawkins' character falls in love with him. And the thing about this movie, I feel like that setup feels very baity. Like there's a certain amount of people, like there's a certain group of people that I feel like would just be totally in for this. But I think it's more than just, oh, here's your dumb lady fucks a fishman story. It has this romantic feel. Like even though it takes place in Baltimore, it feels like Amelie. Like it feels like it takes place in France. Like everything is these like, it's green as well, but it's these really soft greens, and it's like always raining, and it's kind of cliche because it's extremely romantic. Like she's like staring out the bus window while it's raining, and it's like fogging, and like she's got like this shine in her eye. But even though it takes place like it's trying to be like remember the good old days, but it sort of course corrects because her neighbor is gay. Michael Shannon's character is a fucking racist, fucking sexist maniac.
Underlined maniac several times.
Like it's obviously kind of out there that this lady loves and fucks this fishman.
Well, let's not spoil it for anyone.
And it's trying to have like, okay, we're gonna make this romantic movie that takes place like in this almost like imaginary Baltimore. I don't think it looks like a fucking soundstage. Like it looks like this crazy production thing. But also we have like gay characters in here, and we have like our leader, like we have Viola Davis as not Viola Davis, Olivia Spencer.
Octavia Spencer.
Yeah, I always think that because like The Help, and they were in it together, and I was
They were, yeah.
But it has this romantic like picture of the past. But it's like, but also people were racist. But also people were homophobes.
It was really pretty, but just so you know, it was fucked.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when people say like,
everything was bad.
I was born in the wrong generation.
Yeah,
Shut up, Becky.
Yeah, it wasn't for me, motherfucker. And it plays that really smart. And I can't tell like it feels like just imagine Amelie, but it's this fucking fishman romantic story, and it might not be so complicated, but fuck man, does it work so well. It's got this wonderful Alexander Desplat score, this fucking, like, I don't even know, like, walking down, like, rainy cobblestone streets with person you fucking love, and, like, it's just so fucking good, man. It was this thing, like, this feel-good thing that was weird that I didn't know I wanted and needed. Yeah. It's so fucking good.
But
I don't know.
The warm emotional stuff hits so well, but then it's also got like super like all of the timely fucked up stuff, but there's also just like fucked up nasty stuff too, and it's like this movie is what I love. All of it.
Like it's still kind of like Guillermo. It's kind of painful.
You can see his horror elements coming through,
absolutely,
with all of the like gross stuff that happens. But it's also like one of the most compelling love stories I've ever seen. I think I'm a furry now.
I'm not gonna spoil the moment, but I remember the moment in the movie, and I remember being.
I like how we'll spoil everything from Star Wars, but like this.
You mean the moment where I was beside myself?
Yeah, the moment where like I looked at you and you were like. The very Carrie moment of the movie, I would just say.
I don't actually know what movie we're talking about.
I looked at the black and white moment.
Oh man!
I looked at you. Your jaw literally dropped.
Again, like it felt like
I never seen you so happy.
It was
like that
reaching
in a long time. It was
this
wonderful.
movie made me feel genuine happiness for the first time in years.
I can say I love that moment. I really love that moment too. But like seeing your joint it made it even better.
Like I leaned over to our friend and I was like, "Is this what's gonna happen?" And he was like, "Yes." And then when it happened, I was like. I fucking lost
like it's so fucking good. Like,
and then it dials back. It's
like with all the information. Like if I tell you like here's this fucking setting, here's the tone we're going for. Of course you're gonna do this scene. But when they do it, it's like that's when I started crying. That fucking scene. Oh, it's so fucking good. God. Again, I think this movie, it might be on the nose a little bit, but I don't know, man. I'm fine with liking it. It's feels, fucking great.
It comes off like more genuine.
Yeah.
Than like a lot of love stories do, and I think that's because it's. One, because it's unconventional, and also because... Not even just the fishman, just like, I can't remember her name.
The character
The main character girl.
Oh, I don't know.
Eliza.
Eliza. Like, she's just like a cool, interesting person.
Yeah.
And she's just like sassy and fun.
And it also still feels like a Guillermo del Toro movie because it is like a lead Latino woman in it. Mm-hmm. So like there's so much like here like it's everything like Guillermo del Toro is good at into this love story. Mm-hmm. It's fucking gorgeous. It's so goddamn good. Oh my god. And the fucking man, that poster is fucking it's so good. Again, I don't think I have this passion for it, but
one of my favorite things, like
it made me happy.
Talking about this with a friend is Michael Shannon's character.
Yeah.
Mostly because like he's this crazy, insane guy.
It's a very Michael Shannon character.
Yeah. And like his home life is like the like ideal like
picturesque
thing.
The family in the Jello ad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his family.
Yeah.
And then like you look at the family like, father, will you please come with me to the baseball game? He's like, I'm Michael Shannon. I fucking hate everything.
Go find that fish man.
Because like he has that like that outfit, like that yellow like shirt, the like
he's this like very manly man,
but like he has the face of someone who has seen like death.
He plays this.
It's so great.
He's
so horribly racist.
He's horribly racist.
I kind of love him.
Yeah.
He's like horribly.
He's the antagonist.
He won't admit defeat. Like and like when he finally like fails, like there's that moment where he talks to his commanders. Like people like, isn't it like what if a man like finally like falters or whatever, something like that?
What if a man who's done so much for so many years messes up one time and his boss is like,
and he's like, you're fucking shit. Your intensity's for shit. Win. Oh man. Again, his character
The moment towards
is
his end.
two-dimensional, but it's
Yeah.
so good.
I feel like it goes beyond that. I feel like he really kills it.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that fish man. He does not kill that fish man. He tries.
Spoilers.
Ryan! Oh my god, the fish man doesn't die. What a spoiler.
There's a thing with an egg.
Egg.
Again,
Eggs.
very
Eggs.
Amelie again. I cook an egg with
I
a
have
spoon.
not seen that movie yet. I've been told I'd like that a lot, though.
You would fucking after seeing Personal Shopper, and like you would fucking love Amelie.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't think Ryan liked your tone there.
Oh.
Listen, it's a good movie.
Good.
It's good.
I can accept that answer.
It's good. But yeah, is there anything else to say about it other than like?
Do you think
Soundtrack is good,
Do you think
the color is
the
great.
normie fucking film goer will like this
I don't
movie?
know.
I
I don't
know.
think they
Donna
would
Jo
see
didn't
it.
like it.
Donna Jo didn't like
Oh,
it.
I could guess that. Because I know when I left, my mom was like, "What movie you see?" I was like, "It's a movie where a lady falls in love with a fish man," and she was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
have fun."
I had a similar conversation with my mom. She's like, I watched the trailer for that movie. That looks really interesting. And I was like, Mom, you wouldn't like it.
It feels very like targeted towards people like in our age demographic.
people who are after.
It's very woke.
One thing about The Shape of Water, it's a very woke film. Shape of Water gets the movies.
Sorry, we had a
real
point there.
woke
Carrie
up.
just trampled it.
I'm not woke enough for this conversation.
That's what we need to name our award ceremony, the Woke Awards. From Movies That Are Real, the wokest movie of 2017.
The Shape of Water.
Most wokest scene. I
Michael
don't
Shannon
know.
fucks his wife aggressively.
Yeah, very woke.
Woke.
Well, with
Hear
that,
that, Gambo? Come down to Omaha, Nebraska.
that part where
Hometown
Kirsten
of
Stewart
Alabama.
masturbates in
Oh,
the
well,
Personal
I mean,
Shopper.
That's pretty woke.
That is a woke ass scene.
Spoilers for Personal Shopper.
That's a good scene.
That is a good scene.
That's
That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
I would call that a good movie.
I do not like your tone.
No, what? It's a good movie. I didn't love it. It's good.
If you're not saying the words "Personal Shopper" is the most perfect movie I've ever seen, Ryan's
I had
not gonna
to-
be happy.
If you're not saying I want to tattoo the script of that movie onto my body, then we're not.
I mean, you
we're
can
not
fit
safe.
most.
The
of
way I
it.
streamed it didn't
Shut
have subtitles for the French, so I didn't know what happened. Sometimes.
That happened to me too.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
I
What the
found it again though, and the subtitles were fixed, and I was like, oh, okay, good.
I was like, I don't know what the fuck.
They don't really say anything. That much, to be
Okay.
honest.
Anyways, that's December. We didn't see The Greatest Showman, which I'm shocked.
I wanted
not-
to see.
I did not
I
want
wanted
to
to
see
see
it.
it so
Me
bad,
too.
but I heard that it wasn't good, so I was like, I don't want to be disappointed by this movie. I was so excited. I'm just gonna live in ignorance. and be
That
like,
scene
maybe
in
it's
Shape
good.
of Water,
Did
though.
Calling by Your Name come out in Omaha this
Not yet.
month?
I don't know.
But I think that.
it comes out soon.
Yeah, so I think that might be a candidate for 2017.
Okay.
I hope it is. I don't know.
I hope I like it.
Another
I don't know.
do.
movie. Another movie. It's a Korean movie. It's called A Girl on the Beach at Night, and I've heard very good things about it. Like
Girl walks home alone at
A
night.
girl walks
Two.
home alone at night
On
too.
the beach.
But on the beach.
Yeah.
On the beach though.
On the beach though. No, I've heard very that's like the movie.
Oh, cool.
That's the movie over there, and it came out on film streams here for like a week, but I missed it. 'cause I'm an idiot.
Ryan,
I'm sorry. I'll get it eventually.
they were too busy playing Downsizing.
Yeah, they are.
Oh my god.
We can only put this movie in here for a week. We gotta get back to Downsizing right away.
It's the only way we're making our money. Anyways, let's talk about the movies of January, or at least some of these came out in December.
Yeah, because again, January is Oscar season, so
Yeah.
January is either like the shittiest movie or the Oscar season.
yes,
Well, I mean,
it's like let's put this war movie, let's put the shitty Insidious sequel.
Monster Trucks. That was last
Oh
year.
fuck! I
Let's
still
put those
never seen that movie.
I saw a fucking ad for what is it? The 12 Hours? Is that on here?
Yeah.
12
Yeah,
Strong.
12
and
Strong.
one line from that movie is like, "If we don't stop this right here, 9/11's just the beginning." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Right fucking now, movie? Get fucked!" Oh my god, whatever, man.
The only takeaway I have from that trailer was it's got Chris Hemsworth in it, and it's about the soldiers riding on horses. And this was right after we saw Thor Ragnarok, and Greg and Ryan berated me and were yelling at me about horse Thor. And so then as soon as this trailer started playing, it was when we were seeing Murder on the Orient Express, I like leaned forward and yelled 6 seats down the right. I was like, Ryan, horse Thor!
Anyways, let's get on track.
I,
here.
Tonya.
So
Yes.
here's the thing with this one.
You guys into this one?
I am.
I've seen the ad so many times at this point. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it.
I'm really excited about this.
I didn't know anything about Tonya Harding.
Me
until-
neither.
She was an Olympic figure skater.
Oh, really?
And, shut the fuck up! I'm trying to explain it to you, dickhead. But so there was a scandal where she got her title taken away because she was involved with her husband hiring a hit on the competing figure
Right.
skater, and they injured her leg, and she couldn't compete. So her Tanya's title was retroactively taken away, and she was like the first figure skater to do the triple axel or something. And so, but I don't really care about Tonya Harding that much, but this movie just looks like it has a tone that I love. It just looks like a really mean movie.
It does.
I enjoy that very much. And it also makes me think of, shout out to my favorite YouTube series of all time, Gale. There's a lot of talk of Tonya Harding in that show. So that's probably why I'm excited. Gale loves Tonya Harding, Ryan.
Is
Oh,
it?
really?
Well, what's the actress who plays her
I
mother?
don't remember.
I forget.
I've seen her in stuff, but I don't
Well-known
know what.
actress.
Yeah, I know.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Star of Downsizing, Matt Damon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Tonya. I
think
hope it's
gonna be
good. Molly's Game. I don't know anything about this, but people
Me
told me I should
neither.
watch this. Nothing. Okay.
Jessica
I
Chastain,
put it on
that's
there
all I
because
know.
it's Aaron Sorkin.
Of course,
and
it's
I know
Jessica
I'm-
Chastain.
It's Aaron Sorkin, and I know you like Wolf of Wall Street. But
Aaron Sorkin didn't make Wolf of Wall Street.
he
did
did it.
No, that was
Well, Wolf of Wall Street's in the trailer, so I just assumed.
No, that's what's his fucking? He made
Well-
Shutter Island.
Well, he didn't. It's a Scorsese movie, but
Yeah, there you go.
Aaron Sorkin wrote it.
Oh, okay.
This is his directorial debut.
Margot Robbie's big movie.
Mhm.
Suicide Squad. Margot Robbie's Suicide Squad. I forget she was in that. But I guess we don't know anything about Molly's.
Janney.
There you go. That's the one.
Yep.
It looks like it just looks like a high stakes gambler movie.
Insidious, The Last Key.
You guys saw that, and I'm so jealous.
Yeah, we
I
did see
wanted
it.
to see it. I couldn't.
You don't-
I had D&D that night.
Wow. As miserable
I
as
fell
that
asleep.
sounds, that's a better way to experience
What
your
the
night.
fuck is your problem?
So Insidious is another one. We'll talk about it in
We'll talk
the
about
January
it. We'll
episode.
talk-
I'll see it. I'll see it.
Okay.
I'll key it.
Look, no spoilers. It's
Listen, I saw the
Truly
beginning and
terrible.
end of that movie, and I was like, this looks all right from what I saw.
When they told me that there was gonna be another Insidious movie about keys, I was like, another one?
another one.
Insidious 3 came out when?
It was a couple years ago. I think it was
Yeah,
2013.
so that's why I was so surprised that they made
4
another
years,
one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's bad. It's a bad movie.
The Post.
The Post.
Ryan's
The
excited.
most fucking
Yeah.
Oscar baity movie I've ever seen in my
They put
goddamn...
Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep in the same fucking movie.
In a
Jesus
movie about
Christ.
journalism in the year of our Lord, 2018. I've never
The
seen a more...
Academy is going to implode.
I've never seen a more Oscar baity movie in my whole
I
life.
know, but I'm actually interested. in
Me
seeing it.
too.
I'm
No, me
sorry.
too, totally.
It'll be
I think it's mostly just because I'm a journalism boy.
Like, I like Spotlight. It reminded me of Spotlight. But I don't
still
like...
have not seen that yet.
It's good. But I didn't like the way it's advertised, like, the most craziest fucking story that happened. And it's just Meryl Streep, and then you just this story, if you fuck this up, you're done forever. You'll break it down. You can't do this. He's like, you have to
Don't
do
try
it. It's
to
the right
plane to
thing.
fly, Sully.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. It reminds me of Spotlight, which I like. I think Spotlight is actually more interesting, but at least the concept is a lot more interesting to me.
Proud Mary. What's this about?
Yeah, what's that?
It's another installment in the it's John Wick but series.
Oh.
So it's John Wick but it's Taraji P Henson.
I'm looking this up. Is it actually directed? Because all these movies so far have been directed, like the stunt people who made John Wick.
Oh well, no, but it looks like the same sort of like she pulls out guns
Oh,
from a
yes.
big old dresser drawer full of guns.
Let me
I
tell
saw
you
one trailer
about.
for this, and I don't really remember much.
The trailer gets me hyped just because I like the Proud Mary song.
This has people who were involved with Date Movie, an epic movie.
Oh dear.
And let me see who else is on here.
Stop scrolling, please, for the love of
Okay,
God.
let's
We're
move
sponsored
on.
by them
Let me
next month.
tell
Don't
you
do
about a movie called Atomic Blonde. It's pretty good. It's all right. Anyways,
Paddington 2.
Paddington 2.
I never saw it first, and people told me it was
I
great.
watched it.
Oh
a
yeah,
week
Carrie
ago.
likes bears. I
I
forgot.
love bears. I watched it a week ago, and
I heard it was
I
great.
liked it. It's got Sally Hawkins in it, so I was like, oh.
And it's got what's
Nicole
her-
Kidman.
Nicole Kidman, yes.
my main issue.
He likes marmalade.
My main issue with Paddington before I had seen it, because I remember in the trailers there was a line where Nicole Kidman, who plays a taxidermist, was like, "A talking bear, that'll be perfect for my collection." And I was like, what benefit is a talking bear to a taxidermist as opposed to a regular bear? But they fixed that in the movie. That's not why she wanted him. So, good movie.
Okay.
And there is a scene where Sally Hawkins' bathroom gets flooded as a result from bringing a creature where it doesn't belong. So it's the same thing as The Shape of Water.
Wasn't there sort of a deal or a thing going on with Paddington too, if I remember correctly?
What do you mean?
I thought maybe I'm incorrect.
Sponsored by Microsoft. He's appeared on every Surface Pro tablet in America.
Hello, I'm Paddington.
I'm Paddington. I see you're trying to... Can I help you with your Word document?
Hello, it looks like you're writing a letter.
Oh,
I
well.
love letters. I can't write them though because of my bare hands.
I'm a bear, and I just cover the pages in marmalade.
I didn't install updates. What? How are you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, never mind. I got nothing.
I saw that.
I saw that.
Anyways.
I see you looking at pornography now.
But Paddington was a nice movie. It was
It's very feel good from what I've heard.
It's feel good, but it's also got some fun. It's got some creative jokes. Like it's got some bottom of the barrel jokes, but it's got some good dialogue and some creative visual stuff that put it a little bit above the bar for quote unquote family movies. But I follow a lot of people who are based in the UK, and they've seen this movie already. It came out already over there, and they all love it.
I was saying.
So it's a very
national
UK,
holiday.
It's a very UK movie, of course, but they all love it, and so I'm excited. I will see Paddington
12
too.
strong.
Any more thoughts on 12 Strong?
Horse Thor.
No,
Horse
no, I
Thor.
don't.
We need to stop 9/11.
Den of Thieves. Is this the Gerald Butler movie?
Hell yeah.
That movie looks fucking horrible.
All right.
I didn't put that on there.
How fucking tone deaf in the year of our Lord 2018 do you have to make this movie where Gerald Butler literally said, "We're cops, we don't have to play by the fucking rules"? Are you kidding me?
Maze Runner, the Death Cure.
Why are they making another Maze Runner
I've
movie?
never seen Maze Runner.
Because the guy.
Oh, his back's better?
Yeah, he fixed his back.
Fucking Gone Girl came out in the last Maze Runner movie.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like just because they already started filming, like, well, we gotta finish it when this child's back is fixed that we broke.
Idiot!
Dumbass. And yeah, if you like Maze Runner, get help.
Is this how it feels? Because I care about one young adult franchise, and that is The Hunger Games. I fucking love those movies. But watching Maze Runner trailers, I feel nothing. Is that what it feels like to watch The Hunger Games for you guys?
That's what it feels like when I saw those trailers. I was like, what is happening and why should I care?
Okay, this is just like
I don't know.
It looks
the
stupid.
Allegiance trailers give up the exact same feeling to me.
Remember that?
No, those movies got canceled.
Yeah, they did.
Darn it.
And last one on here, Mom and Dad. Which is
Nick Cage, a virus makes him want to kill his kids.
Yes.
It's awesome.
It looks great.
that's who that was? Was Nicolas Cage?
What?
Yeah, Nick
I didn't
Cage.
see that.
Nick Cage.
One of the pull quotes on the trailer was like, he goes full spazoid mode or something, and I was like, all right, sign me up.
This movie makes what's his meme movie with the bees?
Wicker Man.
He makes the Wicker Man look like a tame performance.
I've heard that there is a Nicolas Cage movie coming out at some point with a good director.
Nicolas Cage directed his own movie finally.
Downsizing 2.
Oh man, what if Nick Cage was even smaller?
Big sizing, and they make Nicolas Cage giant.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. Well, that's January, baby.
Anything we're all excited
No,
for?
I just realized that you went through all those, and I'm like, I don't fucking know.
The Post?
Oh, it's the director of Bad Lieutenant. Okay, cool. It's Siberia. All right.
Okay.
Not Siberia. Bad Lieutenant, New Orleans. This is probably one of the best Nicolas Cage movies. But it's actually a good Nicolas Cage movie. Like, it's just a good movie. Anyways.
Sounds boring.
That's how I keep hearing adaptation is like that, but it also stars Nick Cage.
I guess The Post, I'm looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to Insidious still, and Paddington too.
Man, Insidious.
Listen, I still like those movies. I like Insidious a lot. It's fun.
The first half of the first one is fine.
Listen.
And then it's just rocking horses and people...
Yeah, I enjoy how Buck Wild, but then my problem with 3 and 4 is like it lost that Buck Wildness.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, 3 is stupid. and it's got the guy from Office Space in it, right? He's like
Yes.
the dad.
Yes.
Like when we were on our way to that movie,
Wait,
I
you-
was trying so hard to remember.
You
what
sure that's
the
not
hell
The
happened
Conjuring?
in all the other Insidious
I'm positive
movies.
the guy from Office Space is not in The Conjuring. Wait, oh, there is a guy who looks
yeah.
like him. No, wait.
I don't know. He's in some horror movie.
Mm,
Do you want us to fucking...
yeah, kill time.
Okay. Shape of Water, great movie. So
no,
good.
that's definitely the guy who's in
Ron
Insidious.
Livingston.
Oh, fuck,
Told
he's
you,
in
I
The
fucking
Conjuring.
told you.
Are we sure he's not also in
Boom.
Insidious 3?
That's it. That's the movie, baby. Or the podcast.
Shit.
To be fair, Carrie, those movies blend together
Fuck.
a lot.
Bam.
Well, who's the guy who's in Insidious 3 then? Kill more time. We have to figure this
Oh
out.
my-
Personal Shopper, best movie
Who the
of
fuck
all
is that?
time. Yes, it is.
Dermot.
Dylan McDermott.
What
Remember,
do I know this?
Ryan, where can people find you on Twitter?
I am at Frying Pans on Twitter.
Oh, actually, before we do that, I guess we are in the pre-production stages of our movie of the year stuff.
Movie of 2017.
The best of
The Woke
2017.
Awards.
Yeah. We will be doing, instead of doing it the way we did it last time, where we had the discussions to the side and then came back with a final list, we will be doing the discussions on the podcast.
So expect a 10-hour.
Yes, that's what I'm
screaming fit.
That's what I'm scared about.
Well,
And we'll
That's
also have
fine.
categories and stuff, so I don't know how long it'll be.
what are some of the categories people can look forward to?
I mean, we haven't locked that down, so you're putting us on the spot here.
You suggested best movie.
Man, what a visionary fucking category. Anyways, look forward to that. We're excited about that stuff.
What is the best movie? The question everyone's been asking all year, but no one
Best
quite.
movie of all time, though.
It's still
Rate and review us on iTunes. Ryan, what you were saying, where can people find you?
At Fryin Pans on Twitter. Fryin is spelled like the name Ryan. It's a pun.
Carrie, where can people find you?
KAR_E Lyles, LYLES.
And you can find me at jcruzolivers26 on Twitter. Look forward to our... And I don't know when that stuff's going to go up because it's going to take some time, but, you know, the Oscars are when?
March.
I think March. So we got all the
Yeah, we
time
got
in the
until March.
world. Fucking Insidious 4 might even be nominated. I don't fucking know. But until next time, thank you so
No.
much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
No.